At the Madison Center, or JMU Civic as we often call it, we seek to educate and inspire people to address public issues and cultivate a just and inclusive democracy. One of the first things that we did at JMU Civic was develop campus-wide learning outcomes for civic engagement. Our learning objectives come in 4 categories. The first category is that of civic knowledge. We emphasize the acquisition of civic knowledge in order to make one a more informed participant in civic and political life. Another one of our categories is skills, because we know that skill development can make one a more effective participant in civic and political life. Our third category is that of values and dispositions, making sure that students have experience learning from people who may have different perspectives from them, and also developing a sense of confidence in their ability to participate in civic and political life. Our fourth category is that of participation. In what ways do students participate in democracy? This, of course, includes voting in elections, but we also look at other ways in which students participate in democracy when it's not election day.
I want to tell you about a campus climate study we did in 2018 to understand if the JMU climate was conducive for political learning and democratic engagement. This study largely entailed conducting 11 different focus groups with students, administrators, and faculty, and we learned a great deal. I'm not going to share all of our findings with you, but we did learn that there are many opportunities on campus for students to get involved, but that participation is limited. We also learned that students' interest in political learning and democratic engagement is mixed. And finally, we learned that in-class discussions about political and societal issues, they're tough to have for both faculty and students. And we really walked away from the study with just a wealth of information. And the study strongly supported the continuation and elevation of civic engagement programming at JMU.
At JMU Civic, we believe that incorporating civic learning and democratic engagement into curriculum is the gold standard. So we work with faculty members to design or redesign course assignments and syllabi in order to incorporate civic learning and democratic engagement objectives directly into courses.
Our voter engagement plan includes multiple activities that we plan on doing throughout the year to engage students in voting and voter education and general civic engagement activities. Our traveling town halls are a programming event that we hold where we invite candidates for elected office to come to campus and meet students directly where they are in the residence halls.
TED Talks are one of our signature programs. They provide students with an opportunity to learn how to talk about and take action on public issues. We set up a tent in a public area on campus. Our Democracy Fellows bring a primer with academic sources on a public issue, and we talk to students about it. We pass out the primer, we ask them to weigh in on that, and then we always provide next steps that students can take if they really care about an issue.
Through our Democracy Matters podcast, we're able to engage in meaningful conversations, not just talking points, but deep conversations about the state of democracy, both in the United States, but also around the world, to have discussions with experts and practitioners, and to include our students in knowledge production.
There are many ways in which we go about assessing civic engagement at JMU. I'm not going to go through every approach that we use, but I'm going to give you some examples here. I'm going to start off by talking about how do we go about assessing our voter engagement plan. We participate in NSOLVE, which stands for the National Study of Voting, Learning, and Engagement. Institutions that participate in NSOLVE are going to get a report after every national election, including midterms. We were particularly pleased to learn from our last report that 75% of students voted in the national election. This is a 21% increase from our voting rate in 2016, And it's also 9 percentage points higher than the national average for higher education institutions. Go JMU. We were also particularly pleased to learn that 92% of our students registered to vote. I want to tell you about some of our approaches to civic engagement assessment that involve our university-wide assessment days. Now, students participate in assessment days twice. First as incoming first years, right when they arrive on campus, and then they take those same instruments again once they have 45 to 70 credit hours. Now, we administer the Political Engagement Project Survey on assessment day. And this is a survey that is going to be measuring a wide variety of attitudes, dispositions, and behaviors. And to give you a sense of what kind of results we obtain, I'm just going to show the results from the politically engaged identity subscale. Now, if you have a high politically engaged identity, that means it's very central to your sense of self to care about policies and government decision making. We're showing the results here for students at pre-test and post-test. So pre-test is when they were incoming first-year students, post-test after they acquired 45 to 70 credit hours. And we're breaking the results down by the number of civic engagement activities on campus the student participated in. And as you can see, students who participated in more civic engagement activities on campus, they're actually making greater gains over time. Finally, I want to talk to you about the American Experience Test, which we also administer on assessment day. This test was created by JMU faculty to measure the learning outcomes of Cluster 4 and general education. Now, all students at JMU have to complete the Cluster 4 requirement. And we have been giving the American Experience Test on assessment day for several years, and we have consistently found that students who are completing the requirement are making greater gains over time than those who have not. We hope you've enjoyed learning about civic engagement programs and assessment at JMU. If you have questions or would like further information, please contact us.